Hi, tubers to the bank. How are you doing today? Today I have something very interesting going on here. I hope you'll find it interesting also. Um, so, audiophile people, they over time they accumulate a lot of stuff, and they don't even realize it. And they might have a closet like I do that have a whole ton load of stuff in it. In my case, I have a lot of cable, interconnect cable, power cable, um, cartridges, and so forth. So I'm going to show you a few of my cartridges that I have. I usually rotate my cartridges about every 3 or 4 months. Just change different ones over time. Um, so each cartridge won't wear out so quickly. So first up was this. This one was the Orthophone Rondo Bronze cartridge. Now, this was my favorite cartridge, and one day I was changing the record, and the tone arm fell on the record, and I tried to grab it, and what do you know? The cantilever broke off. I almost cried because this Rondo Bronze was my favorite cartridge. It was so quiet and just nice clean bass, and everything was so nice. So I moved up to the Quintet, Orthophone Quintet Black. This is also a very nice cartridge. Move up to this one, and then I found myself with this is the Cadenza Red, Orthophone Cadenza Red cartridge, and also I have a Cadenza Bronze. This one is brand new in the box. I haven't taken this one out yet. It's still sealed. So Cadenza Bronze and Rondo Bronze. I wonder if there's any similarity in performance as to my Rondo Bronze, which was my favorite orthophone cartridge. I also have a Dynavector cartridge. This is a Dynavector DV20X2H. This is a high output moving coil cartridge. All of my cartridges are moving coil cartridge. And this is a vintage cartridge. It's a Denon. It's a Denon cartridge. I think this one was only available in Japan. And it's the DLS1S cartridge. It's also a nice cartridge. Right now it's on the turntable, and I have a treat for you today after I finish this section of the presentation here. Now, this is a treat. This is a VPI cartridge, which I'm going to talk about a little bit more when I get to it. Now, when you're setting up a turntable, you have to have some tools, right? Some tools. And like I said, like I started off by saying, over a period of time, audiophile have just accumulate tons of stuff, right? I talk about the cable I have and all that stuff. Incidentally, before I forget, so speaking of cables, power cords, I have several power cords. So I had this power cord in the system, and it was a few days ago. I went back to do some tweaking, and I noticed that the power cord was pulling loose. The plug. And what do you know? This piece just broke off right in my hand, right? And it's a power cord. Not supposed to happen. And this was an expensive power cord. I won't tell you the name, but it was an expensive power cord. So what I did, and this power cord was right throughout the system. So what I did, I just removed all of them. I just pulled them all out. So I revert to the original power cord, the power cord that came with the unit, right? Each component in the system came with the power cord, and those were left in a box. I just leave them in the box that came with the unit. So I went back and I retrieved those power cords and I just put them all in the system. So I'll see what's what. I will get some new power cords, but for now, at least for the immediate future now, I will just continue using the stock power cords with the system. Let's see what's what. Okay, that's for power cords. So as I was saying, with the turntable, there are tools. You have to have some tools, and this is my little DIY protractor. I downloaded this and I laminated it and I put a hole in it. So I will show you how I use to verify when the cartridge is centered. And this is the jig that came with the VPI turntable, right? And of course, you have to have a level to show when the turntable is all flat and level on your rack. So one fine tool that I used to use some time ago was this tool. It's called a phosgometer. Phosgometer, right? And you just plug it in, and then it will show you when the cartridge left and right are lined up properly. You know, you don't want it to be too much to the left or too much to the right. It has to be in the middle. This is one tool I used for that for some time ago. And then, of course, you're gonna have pliers, screwdriver, pliers to take off the cartridge, and the screwdriver to pull the screw. And then here you go. You have your trusted scale to measure the amount of tracking force on the tone arm. Funny thing, I have it in a box, in the original box, and two batteries. I had batteries in it. I hadn't used it for some time, and what do you know? The battery started to leak. Lucky thing I didn't have it in this thing. I always take it out. So yesterday I had to clean up all that mess. Okay, so what I'm going to do for you today is I'm going to show you how I mount cartridge, because in setting up a turntable, there are 3 ways to set up a turntable. The right way, like Michael Framer does it. He does it the right way. If you can watch his video, he has several videos online where he goes through the turntable. And I've been at like the Exponer show already, and I sit down there and watch him go through the entire process. It's a long process, but I learned a lot from him. So that's the right way. Then, secondly, there's a wrong way, which a lot of newbies, like myself, newbies. I'm not saying I'm a pro at this. It's an evolution. It takes a while to get into it. You know, so I'm not an expert by no means, but I can hold my own when it comes to setting it up. So anyway, the wrong way, that's how the newbies does it. So there's always something wrong. Tracking force is off. Too much. The angles are not right and all that. So that's the wrong way. Then thirdly, there is my way of setting up the turntable, because as you see me do this, you might say, wow, he's crazy. That's not how you do it, right? But the best tool to have when setting up a turntable everybody has it, and it's these, your 2 ears. No matter what the instrument says, it's just give you a baseline of what should be expected. But you have to come, set it up, and put your butt down there and listen, right? Listen to what you just did. Listen to the speakers, listen to your sound stage. Listen, just listen. So this is the best tool, right? Priceless. So regardless of how you set up your turntable, make sure you listen to it after you finish. All right, so right now I'm going to move over to the turntable and get started. Okay, so here we are. This is a VPI HW40 HW40 anniversary direct drive turntable. If you go online and you'll see tons and tons and tons of review on the VPI on this particular turntable. I'm not here. This is not a review on the turntable. I'm merely just showing how to set up the turntable. Change the cartridge, I should say, and set it up. Okay, so this is my trusted lifter. So when the tone arm reaches down like about this, it just pushes it up. So the needle doesn't have to be wearing out against the label. So I will just remove that for now and get started. So first, I'm gonna take off the wires from the cartridge, and then I'm gonna remove the cartridge. There are 2 screws here, so I'm gonna remove these 2 screws. Next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna clamp that so the tone arm don't get unruly. It just stays in place. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So here is the cartridge. This is the Denon cartridge, S1S cartridge. Put that out of the way. Now, this is a brand new VPI cartridge. And this is the first time I'm taking this thing out of the box. So I'm going to drop this on. First I got to figure out the screw that is needed to hold the cartridge in place on the tone arm. So let's see if there's any screw in this thing. Yeah, there are screws here. Good. Okay, so we have some screws. See, we have some screws. Okay, so we have screws and Allen wrench for the screws, so that's good. Okay, so let's get cracking on this. Okay, so we have two sets of screws, so I gotta figure out which one to use. Okay, I'll use the longer one. I'll use the longer screws. Okay, all right. Let's get cracking. There's a plastic over it to protect the cantilever. You don't want to. You don't want to. You don't want to break this thing off. It's a lot of money. A lot of moolahs. If you notice, the pins are color coded: blue, white, red, and green to match the blue. The blue. Let's see, to match the. Let me show it to you. Look, to match the blue, white. Ah, let me do that again. Match the blue, blue, white, red, the red, and green. Blue, white, red, green. Okay. Mm. You always need to have a flashlight handy, because what just happened to me is all of a sudden the blue looked like green. All of a sudden the blue looks green to me, but now I can clearly see that. See where green is green and blue is blue. Okay. Put on the red. So green, red. I just call it out, but it doesn't have to be in any specific order. I just call it out as I go. Make sure I have it at the right place. And then we have the blue. And the blue. And white. All right. So let me just show you what's going on here. Close up. Okay. So now we have to mount it on here. So there are two washers that I'm going to put on the screws like that. And then just screw it in. I told you guys I had something interesting. How do I look now? See that? Look like I'm a coal miner. Okay. So more light. It's all good. More light is all good. Because when you get to a certain age, you're not 2020 anymore. So you need all the help you can. And just nurture this site for the little time we have left here in this place called Earth. All right. Okay. Oh, I always forget something. Always. So that's why I never hurry when I do stuff like this. Don't hurry. Because right now I forget to put on the tone arm lifter. I'm sure you guys noticed that, so it's all good. Hey, how come he left the tone arm lifter? What the hell is he doing? Then I could say I did that on purpose just to see if you were paying attention. But that's not true. I did forget to put it on. Okay. So another tricky thing is when you put on this VPI cartridge and you're gonna line it up to use the VPI jig. I'm gonna show you where the cartridge edge has to be lined up with the jig, as well as the stylus has to be placed in, you know, on or extremely close to the white dot on the jig to make sure that it's all good. So I'm going to put these back in the, these are from the other, from this, and this came from here. Okay, I can throw away this plastic rubber, because what will happen, I know the rubber is gonna disintegrate after a while, so let's take it out of the way, get it out of the way right now. Wow, it's supposed to be another screw. Where is it? Oh, put it over there, that's other spot. It's supposed to be right here. And of course, the other washer. Okay, so we are on track. Okay, so this is the VPI cartridge. I think it was made by Audio Technica for VPI. So I have not heard this cartridge ever. So therefore, you guys will be joining me on the journey to listen to this cartridge for the first time. But the thing is, even if I play it on YouTube, you won't even be able to tell any difference, because my experience, you don't get the benefit of the real sound of the system when you listen on YouTube. Okay, now I'm going to pull this plastic off. I can move this. Pull the plastic off. Straight over here. And then this, you notice that this is still loose, because I have to adjust it to this, right? But before I do that, what I have to do is check the tracking force. Because I could set it up now, but because the idea is sometimes when you try to adjust it before you do the tracking force, the tone arm will go all over the place like this. It will go like here and swing like here and swing like here and swing like here. But now I can set up. I mean, I can place I can adjust the cartridge as it is right now, right? But I run the risk of having too much force on the cantilever. You don't want to do that. So let me see what the specification is for this. Very well. I don't believe it. There's no paper. What the hell? How do I know the tracking force for this thing? What's going on here? How do I know that? How do I know that? What do I know the tracking force? I don't know. Let's see. The best bet now is to go to VPI.com and see if I can track this thing down. Okay. Okay, let's see. Support, product. Okay, want to go cartridges, accessories, turntable, record. Let's see, accessory, cartridges. Okay. Okay, here she is. This one. Okay, here she is. Skyla. 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 VPI Skyla cartridge. Okay. Where's the specification? Cartridge. Is this place too dark? I just open up the shades to make sure that this place isn't too dark. Okay, I hope this is better. All right, so let's see what's what here. Weight 0.3 ounce. Tracking force. Vertical tracking force. Okay. 1.6 to 1.8. 1.6 to 2 grams. 1.8 standard. So usually it's recommended. I've read and I've listened to a lot of people and it says go for the higher number. But this time I'm just going to go in the middle and stick with the standard 1.8 gram tracking force. Okay. What would we do without the internet? Okay, 1.8 gram tracking force. Remember that. So here is my scale. So I'm going to power it up. All right. And I'm going to use my little calibrate and here to make sure that it's right. Okay. 1.999. I mean 4.99. It's supposed to be 5 grams. So that's as 5. Okay. We're good. We're good. Good to go. All right. So we want to measure 1.8 gram on this thing. Whoa. I can't believe it. It's 1.996 gram. And this, oh, it goes up to 2. So it says 2 gram right here. The 1.8, should I shoot for that? So what we do, we can adjust the tracking force by turning a little knob right back here and the tone arm. So I'm going to do that for you so you can see. So it's 2.0. Right now, let me show it to you. So you don't think that. 2.018 gram. Okay. All right. So I'm going to very slightly move it back. It's at 1.89, 1.9. .88. So you know what? Let well enough alone. I'm just going to leave it right there. Okay, 1.88. So 1. Okay, 1.86, 1.84, 1.84 again, 1.82. So 1.82, 1.81. So hey, let well enough alone. I'm just going to leave it right there, because you can go as much as 2.0 gram. So 1.8 is good. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is let me pull this up closer so you can see that. So I'm going to, you see you see this little white dot right here. There's a little white dot there. That's where you want the cantilever, the stylus, to hit. Gonna hit that dot or very close as possible to that dot. And then the head shell must line up with one of these lines. So that's what I'm going to try to do now. Okay, here we go. This is where my glasses comes in. And of course, like I told you before, we need all the help we can with our magnifying glass. We don't have 20/20 again at our age. At most audiophile age, I would say. And then somebody says, speak for yourself, man. I say, okay, I can dig that. This is where a USB microscope might comes in handy. So close. Okay, yeah. The needle or the stylus is so small. Yeah, it's about, yeah. So what I'm going to do now is kind of twist the tone arm lifter to bring out the cartridge like this, so that it lines up. So it lines up with the head shell. Hope you can see that. Oh, See, that's a lineup. Okay, that's the best I can do for you. So the idea is to get the head shell, the front of the head shell line up with those line, with the line. It must be dead on parallel with the line. Okay, so I'm satisfied that it's hitting the white spot close or extremely close to it. So like it there again. All right. Yep, that's great. Yeah. I don't know if I can switch the camera around to see. Okay. Ha ha ha. Here we go. See that? So this is what you want to do. You want to make sure that the head shell right here is in line with this line. Don't use that because there's a magnet in that thing. Right? Head shell has to line up with it. Can't be too far away. Right? From here, you can see that. You see that? See that? That's what we're talking about. And of course, parallax has to come into play. So might look a little bit off to you, probably, because due to parallax, it might look strange. Okay, so we good. I'm good. See where? Once again, this line, you see the line and the head shell. Shit. Then I have to make sure that the white dot is touching the thing. I think you get the idea. See, right on it. Okay. 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 That's what I'm saying. You talk to me. My USB light crash. So now we're gonna tighten it down. When you're tightening it, you got to verify that nothing else changed. So you continuously have to be checking it. Continuously have to be checking it. So you want to get it as close to that point as possible. Just tighten it. So you don't have to torque it down too much either. Just finger tight. You know, that should be enough. Okay, perfect. Well, awesome. Yep, I'm satisfied. Okay, so we mount the cartridge. The cartridge is mounted. I like to put back my tools as I go, because before you know it, you start losing stuff. Okay. All right. So I'm going to take off the jig. Earlier on, I showed you this protractor here, DIY. You can get better stuff out there that costs many dollars. So the idea now is to drop this on and make sure that it line up over there too, just like with the cartridge head. So what do you know? All right, so I'm going to show that to you again. Let me see how this works. So we look from this side, so it lined up nicely. I don't think you can see the cartridge. I mean the stylus. So tiny you won't be able to see it. But the idea is line up nicely on that thing. Okay. So that's my benchmark thing. And if you go, we'll line up here too, and the other one. Oh, oh good, I'm satisfied. So, like I said, that's my way of doing it. My way of doing it. The next thing I'm going to do, where is it? This is my test record. It's I bought this one some time ago from Analog Production. That's acoustic sounds. So I'm sure many of you audiophiles watching this know what this is. So I'm gonna be playing. Usually play track number 1, and sometimes I play track number 2. Measure the left and right output, channel output. But this one track, it will show you the azimuth, whether it's lined up or not, left and right, and the middle. You want to head for synergy on the cartridge where it just lined up in the middle. All right, so I'm going to turn the system on right now. The oscilloscope is plugged into the phono stage. The output of the phono stage, it comes straight to the oscilloscope, and of course the tone arm is plugged into the input of the phono stage. So here we go. Let me show what I'm talking about. Let me spin this around. So that's the phono stage being warmed up. Right, 200 ohms, and that's what's happening. Okay, so here we go. So it's a 33 record. So I like to at least brush the record off because I see a lot of dust on it. Even though it's a test record, make sure it's clean, because you don't want nothing. Mess up your see. I have this brush, and I have an audio quest brush, and I bought this one in Japan some time ago. There's this company called ELP in Japan. They make a laser disc turntable, and I visited the factory one time, and I bought a cleaning kit for my record, and this was in it. I was this close to buy one of those ELP turntable, but this brush really works nice. I like it. I was very close to buy one of those turntable. It was a lot of money for it though, but I'm thinking, it reminded me of playing CD again. Nothing to do. I like to tweak and move around and get engaged with the experience. You know what I mean? Just get engaged and tweak stuff. With ELP turntable, like a CD player, just drop it in and just go sit down. Nothing to do. I didn't like that. So that's why I didn't buy it. Okay, so here we go. Okay. So if you notice on the oscilloscope, there are two sine waves, the left and the right. I use the channel 1, which is the yellow, as channel 1 as the left channel, and channel 2, the blue one, as the right channel. So if you notice, I will bring this closer so you can see. I'll switch the camera off. Okay. So notice, right? They are in phase, like one sine wave. The amplitude on one is a little bit off on channel 1 or channel 2, so I'll have to fix that. But like I say, the best fix is to listen to the thing, right? That's the best way to do it. To listen to it, because even though it shows a little bit one a little bit higher than the other, when you listen to it, it might sound perfect, you know. But the idea now, you can see they are totally in phase. Right? Just that the amplitude is a little bit off. See that? That's the that's one channel. They just tell you the difference in amplitude between left and right. So they're very, very close, but I would rather listen to it before I do any other tweaking to it. Listening is a telltale, you know. Okay. So far so good. Okay, what else? The next step would be to pack up everything now. The cartridge is mounted. I want to make sure that both channels are that the azimuth is fine. Both channels are equal in terms of phase, no phase shift between them. In this case, the one channel is a bit higher than the rest, and that can be tweaked. But I would rather listen to it first before I do any other tweaking, because it just might sound perfect as it is. So I don't want to go too deep into it. All right. That was a real mouthful on this this turntable setup. So normally when you get turntable, you have to set up the arm, and then I would make sure that the arm is parallel to the platter and all that. All that's been done already, so I didn't need to go through that again. Put that back. Okay, so what else can I tell you? Okay, so thank you for watching, and join me on this journey to set up my turntable with my new VPI cartridge. I know its video went almost 1 hour, but that's what it is. So thank you for watching, and any comments are welcome. So peace out. Thank you. Okay, after doing a little bit of tweaking of the arm, I did get it to be almost identical. So I will just leave it at that, and I will be performing a listening test here soon over the weekend. Excuse me. Over the weekend. So there you have it. Follow up on the left and right channel. Okay, I'm doing my listening now on the cartridge, the new cartridge I just replaced, and sounding real good. I'm impressed. So here we go.
crescer sem tentar se esconder. E a nos dar seu perfume, sua cor. Ver
have it, YouTube. I don't know if you realize it's a sound like the record was skipping, but actually it was not skipping. What happened was the lifter, I forget to push it down, right? So if it doesn't push down, when the tone arm reach over here, it will touch against this thing and it will give that skipping effect. So I have to come and push it down, and then for it to go right over it. And then when the tone arm hit this pole here, this little pole, then this thing comes up and pushes up the arm. So what you actually was hearing is the tone arm hitting against this thing and going back and forth, so it won't pass it. So that's why it sounds like it's skipping, but the record is fine. All right, thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Bye.